Thank you for joining us today for another segment of LR5, where Londonderry Republicans have 5 minutes to interact on various topics. Joining us today is Melissa Bailey, candidate for Congress for the 1st Congressional District. Ms. Bailey is a New Hampshire native with family roots in the Granite State dating back 5 generations. Bedford, New Hampshire is where Melissa, her husband, and her 3 children call home. Melissa, please tell us a bit about yourself, your campaign, and your intentions as a New Hampshire representative in Washington, D.C. Go.
Good morning. Thank you so much, Brian, for this opportunity to share a bit about myself and my campaign. My name is Melissa Bailey, and I'm running for Congress because we have a country to save. And I felt a deep sense of urgency to stand up to fight for our next generation and to fight for our New Hampshire values in Washington. As a mom, I want the best possible future for my children and for children all across our Granite State. I want them to live in a country that is free and safe and full of opportunities. And I've been on the front lines of raising a family, and I have seen firsthand how a radical left agenda has taken over our culture and our politics, our schools and our institutions. Instead of teaching our children what makes America great, hard work and unity and freedom, they are learning to see the world through a lens of division and resentment. They're learning more about grievances than gratitude and more about oppression than accountability. And look what it's doing to a generation. This cancer of the left, you can feel it everywhere. Our traditions, our values, common sense itself are being chipped away at little by little, year after year. And it reminds me of our iconic old man in the mountain, how it appeared that he collapsed overnight. But in reality, it was a gradual weakening over a long period of time. And that's exactly what I see going on in our country today. And the left hasn't just attacked our values. Their reckless spending on everything except us, the American people, has made life too expensive. And their open borders and defund the police have threatened our very safety. So I'm running for Congress because I believe we can do better. We need leaders who will work to make life more affordable and our communities safe. Leaders who support President Trump's America First agenda. But we also need leaders who are willing to stand up and say, it's not okay to put boys in our girls' spaces. It's not okay to replace the ABCs with DEI, and it's not okay to teach our children to hate our country. I'm running for Congress to protect the American family and preserve the American dream. We need faith, family, and patriotism more than ever, and that's what I'll be fighting for every day in Washington.
Looking at your website, there was one phrase that caught my eye, and it was America First means families first. A future where families are strong, communities are safe, and opportunity is abundant. Again, excellent phrase there. Could you just expand on that a little bit?
Sure. Well, Brian, this election isn't just about politics or policies. It's about saving the country that we love. And that means building a firm foundation around the American family. Strong families build strong communities, and strong communities build a strong America. And we know that too many families here in the Granite State are struggling, and it starts with affordability. When it comes to affordability, we need a smarter government that stops wasting our hard-earned money. Like President Trump, I have a business mindset. I was a financial auditor early in my career. I would go into companies and have to fully understand their financial statements and their internal processes in order to identify inefficiencies and recommend improvements and implement best practices. And that's exactly what we need to do in our federal government. We need the same accountability and discipline to ensure that it's working for the American people. We know that housing affordability is critical here in the Granite State as well. And a house isn't just 4 walls and a roof, it's a home. It's where we raise our children. gather around the dinner table, and pray at bedtime. And that dream of owning a home here in our Granite State is slipping away for far too many families. As a federal candidate who knows banking, I understand that we need stable monetary policy. We need interest rates that make sense for working families, and we need strong community banks that ensure access to credit for home buyers and for small businesses. Families here in the Granite State also need affordable and accessible health care. And that doesn't mean putting a patchwork of Band-Aids over the broken Obamacare system. It means real reforms rooted in transparency and competition so that families finally understand what they're paying for. And it means building a healthier America from the ground up. Not more pharmaceuticals, but healthier lifestyles. Not processed foods full of chemicals and dyes, but fresh, clean, locally sourced foods that strengthen our communities. If we want real reform in healthcare, we need a system that invests in the health of our people, the health of our families, not in big pharma and in insurance companies. So at the end of the day, affordability and housing, they aren't just economic issues, they're family issues. It's about whether young families can build a life here in our state. It's about if our children can afford to stay in the state that they grew up in. So my goal is simple: to ensure it's possible not just to grow up here in the Granite State, but to grow deep granite roots here in our state. Strong families, they also need safe communities. Safety is the foundation that allows us to live free. As a mom, I'm running for Congress because I refuse to accept a country where our children are in danger. And I'm so thankful that President Trump gets it and that he's doing everything he can to make our country safe again. We need to keep our borders closed, continue to deport dangerous illegal immigrants, and continue to dismantle the drug cartels that are feeding deadly drugs to our children. Our children, they are our most precious resources. We need to protect their innocence and ensure that kids can be kids. The left discovered long ago that the easiest way to reshape a nation is by going after its children. They have been quietly infiltrating our schools for decades, replacing academic excellence with political agendas, sidelining parents, and undermining our family values. We need a system based on merit, not one held hostage by teachers' unions, one where the best teachers are rewarded, where parents come before the government, and where schools aren't teaching agendas, but they're teaching academics. So as a mom, I recognize that our families and our American dream are worth protecting. Opportunity, safety, they're deeply woven together with our traditions, our values, our faith, and our family. And like the fabric of our American flag, if you pull just one thread, the entire thing begins to unravel. So I'm not running just to rebuild the economy. I'm running to reawaken our nation. I want our next generation to be proud of our country, to stand for our American flag, to honor our traditions, and to love freedom. I'm not running to climb a political ladder. I'm running on deeply held convictions. Ephesians 4:1 says, lead a life worthy of your calling, for you have been called by God. I love our country and I love our beautiful state. I'm running to protect the blessings of liberty and freedom and to stand up for the truth. And more than anything, I want to hand down a stronger America and a stronger New Hampshire to the next generation.
Outstanding. Thank you so much for that. Again, all the bullet points you mentioned, unfortunately, the people in Washington currently seem to forget most of them. Again, it's family, it's the future of our, in our instance, our beautiful state, overall our beautiful country. We need leaders to remind the politicians that have been embedded in Washington that those ideas are what the country is founded on, and with the right leadership, we'll get back to that. So thank you for that. I just wanted to make mention that after we've wrapped up here, there will be a, I'll just do a screenshot of your business card about how people can touch base with your campaign, find out more about you, and get involved. So again, thank you for taking time away from your busy schedule. I encourage Londonderry citizens and all CD1 voters to find out more about this excellent candidate. Any last words to just wrap up, Melissa?
Sure. Since we're getting close to Christmas, I'm going to leave you with this, an easy way to remember me. If you watch the movie It's a Wonderful Life, I'm a Bailey, and I was in banking before stepping away to raise my children. And like George Bailey, I have a heart for helping families to build a better future. And that's exactly why I'm in this race for Congress to protect Granite State families. If you believe in this vision, if you feel the same sense of urgency that I do to save this country that we love, please follow along my campaign at melissabaileyforcongress.com. That's with the number 4, melissabaileyforcongress.com. And I'm on all social media platforms. I would be so grateful for your support. And if you would consider a financial contribution of any amount, that's how we get my name and this message out there. Thank you so much. God bless you and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well. And it is one of my favorite movies, so good, good way to wrap up. So I'll just finish our conversation today with my usual wrap up. So until next time, if the creek don't rise, if the good Lord's willing, we will see you all again soon. Thank you and have a great day.